welcome back to the Lowell Rickert Show. Just got done talking about the Phillies and MLB. Phillies are starting to show their youthfulness, and they're about 10 games out of first right now, and they were in first place at the beginning of May for like a couple hours. Now they just falling off the earth right now, which was expected at the beginning of the year, beginning of the season. So they're playing where they're supposed to right now. They still got tons of. There's a bunch yet waiting to come up. J.P. Crawford's raking. Nick Williams. Eflin was dealing, which is why he got called up with the injury to Velazquez. There's a Roman Quinn starting to hit, and then there's a catching prospect that has some power that's doing very well. So, and then they just did very well in the draft last week. So there's some talent coming. Now we're going to talk about NFL. We're going to start off, of course, with my Philadelphia Eagles, who just signed Fletcher Cox, 6-year, $103 million deal, $63 million guaranteed. So he signed through 2022, and that's huge. That defense is going to be really good this year, I believe. They did some nice stuff in free agency, and they drafted decently. I was a little worried about the Bradford situation. I think he proved to be a punk, and did not handle the drafting of Wentz. In looking back, it's kind of smart because Wentz is going to be your long-term investment. Bradford, we're going to find now. Now we're going to find out what he's made of and what he's all about, what he's capable of. Because if he has a really good year, then if you're the Eagles, you're in a good situation. You would have two really good quarterbacks, and you're not in no hurry to start Wentz. So, to me, the Eagles are in a good spot. And if you're any kind of a professional, you want competition. So for me, that should give Sam Bradford some motivation. So we'll find out. I think part of the weakest part of the Eagles right now is part of the running back spot. I'm just not thrilled with what they have there. Sproles, Matthews, and Barner. But the rookie from West Virginia has looked good, so there is some hope there. But I'm liking the squad. Later in the summer, I will make my predictions for the NFL. But Dallas, that was an impressive signing, Ezekiel Elliott. Now he's the main running back with McFadden out. He has to have surgery on his hand, I believe, so he's out 2 or 3 months. Just saw today, so he's gonna get thrown in the fire. But again, defensively is the weakest part of the Dallas Cowboys, and anybody that says Dallas is the, I'm not buying them right now. As a wise man once said, and continues to say, the Dallas Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen. Time and time again, here in the last few years, they do something stupid. So any day now, they could do something stupid. So the jury's still out on the Dallas Cowboys in my book. So probably a team. If I have to say a team that's up and coming that could really do some damage, it's probably the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got nice young talent, good receivers. Allen Robinson from Penn State, uh, Bortles. They're up and coming. Oakland Raiders are another up and coming team. They got some nice talent. Um, but that defense of the Denver Broncos, they'll be in the thick of it again. So, but enough on that. We'll get a preview here in next month or so. I'll give you my thoughts on that. College, Penn State, I think has a good recruiting class. Um, I'm just not sure right now who to probably mix. If it were me, probably McSorley will get the start. Uh, they're loaded at the skill spot. Saquon Barkley is going to have a breakout year, and he, in my opinion, is the underdog. He is the dark horse for the Heisman Trophy. Not saying he's going to win it, but he's going to be he's a contender, and if he doesn't do it this year, he will be. I think next year will be the favorite for the Heisman next year. But it's going to come down to the offensive line, and they are deep, as they did redshirt a bunch of linemen from last year. So they just don't have they do not have the experience. I think then Andrew Nelson's getting moved to tackle spot. But Penn State should be solid, and we're going to find out how good James Franklin is. I think this is a huge year for him. He can get 9-10 wins this year. He'll with the recruiting class coming in for 2017. Look out! The Baylor. Let's get into the Baylor situation. That's rearing its ugly head. And the report just came out yesterday that some in the I don't know how the Board of Regents, I believe, some that are in with Baylor, they're looking at a 1-year suspension for Briles, and they pretty much fired him here a couple weeks ago, and now all of a sudden they want to suspend him a year. And with all that set with the players, with all that knowledge that he has and done nothing on the sexual assaults and stuff. Shame on Baylor, and I think Ken Starr, he needs to be shipped out completely. Why would you fire him as the president and have him in as a teacher when he knew everything? And he was shady to begin with. I will not go into any politics, but if you know about him, very shady character. So we're going to find out a lot about him. Well, a lot about Baylor if they do change their punishment on Art Briles. There was a lot of controversy here during the Final Four about North Carolina. Turns out the men's basketball program and football are completely clean from those reports that I read. That there was no wrongdoing. It was outside of the sport, pretty much like I said, outside the sports the academic advisors creating these classes. So all that needs to come out is the kind of punishment that North Carolina gets. But I believe the football and men's basketball is going to be clean. The women's program, on the other hand, is going to get hammered, and that's where a lot of that problem came from. Is those advisors with the women's basketball program. So that is all. Also, I do want to we'll end on this, as I don't have any prepared things or whatever. I'm just doing the top of my head. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins on winning the Stanley Cup. Hate to say it, as I do not like Sidney Crosby, but they played very well. They got hot the second half from the beginning of the new year all the way through. They got hot at the right time and they just kept it going. Murray did a whale of a job in goal. So now the question going into next season is what are they going to do with Marc-Andre Fleury? Are they going to trade him or have him as the backup to Murray? The get of Phil Kessel, that was huge for Pittsburgh. That was huge. Probably the biggest move they made was getting him. And that turned their team around. Also, congratulations to Hershey Bears on their season, despite being swept by Lake Erie Monsters. They weren't picked to get to the Calder Cup Finals. Not a lot of people thought they would do anything this year. They were a bit undersized compared to Lake Erie. If you watched any of the games, you could see Hershey was kind of small, and that hurt because they couldn't get many shots through. They were always getting blocked. So tip your hat off to Hershey. And I think there's probably 4 or 5 that'll probably get called up to the cap. So we'll see what they do there. And there will be a new president GM with Hershey as Doug Yanks is retiring. So he got a good retirement present as they got to the Calder Cup Finals. That'll be it. We'll try and do something here in a week or so, and I'll have something prepared. But since this is the first one in a while, I thought I'd do some off the top of my head. So. Thanks a lot for watching. I do want to give my condolences to those in Orlando, Florida, with that mass shooting. Thoughts and prayers to those families who lost loved ones, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you here maybe this weekend, maybe next week. But at least in the next couple. Again, thanks, and we'll see you next time. This is the Low Ripper Show, Low Ripper Network. Have a good night.